Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
You're listening to Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
Well, out with earnings earlier this morning, the stock is soaring. We're talking about Elanco Animal Health hitting a 52-week high today. It's up about 33% year to date. The gain, as I look at my Bloomberg, it's up about 16% in today's session. Again, as we mentioned, reporting earnings this morning, it boosted its adjusted earnings per share and revenue guidance for the full year, following better than expected second quarter results. We wanted to know more about the business and hear about the outlook. Delighted to have with us Jeff Simmons. He is president and CEO of the $8 billion market cap company, Elanco Animal Health. He joins us from Greenfield, Indiana. Jeff, good to have you here. How are you?
Great. Thanks for the opportunity, Carol and Norah. Good to be with you today.
Well, I want to talk about the business. I want to start, though, when we've got a member of the C-suite, start big macro, high and wide. When you look at the market and business environment, it's been an interesting year. And there was a lot of volatility. There was a lot of uncertainty. It feels like some things have calmed down. We've certainly seen that in the equity market. But I'm just curious how you see the business environment today.
Yeah, I've pulled out the word volatile through my lens, and I see it dynamic. I think there's a mix of opportunity and challenge out there. But the backdrop that I come from, coming out of pharmaceuticals, but being in animal health for 35 years, I mean, this is an industry that's been growing. I think in the last 3 decades, only 1 year, 2008, we haven't grown. And we're seeing that resilience in the first half of this year. The animal health industry is probably one of the most resilient, and it's all around protein and pets. And you've got trends here that we're seeing, even with the dynamics that you've just mentioned, consumer spend and the volatile environments, we're seeing resiliency because of these trends. I mean, the pet owners of the future, they're adding pets to their home. Pets numbers are up. The globalization of pets, the willingness to spend on pets is increasing as kids numbers and children go down. Pets are going up, and we're seeing that in our results. And then on the protein side, this conversion of whether it's the new protein diets is also converging with our farmers and the dynamic. I mean, I don't know if you tried to buy cottage cheese lately or meat sticks. So those two trends are creating farmers, veterinarians, pet owners to have a resilience like I haven't seen. And we've seen 8 quarters of accelerating growth. And we peaked here, after those eight quarters, not peaked, but we've hit a high on adjusted basis of 8%. So where I come from, I see this as one of the most resilient industries right now with some of the consumer trends that are out there.
I'm a dog family. I've had tons of dogs, 3 Dalmatians at one point. Right now I've got a Weimaraner and an Irish Terrier. So I feel you, I hear you. What I'm curious about is, in terms of growth at the company, what's growing top and bottom lines? Is it existing products? Is it really what's coming in the pipeline? And I'd love to have you talk a little bit about what your pipeline is like, because I've seen changes, certainly in that monthly pill we give the dog. I used to give them 2 different pills. Now it's 1 pill, and it covers a lot of what ails them and you have to watch out for. So give us an idea of what's really driving growth at the company.
Yes, I'll anchor to that. I mean, it's innovation, and farmers and veterinarians reward innovation. It's got to be valuable. This is a cash-based business, not a payer business. So you've got to add value. Vets make money off from this, and pet owners respond to it. And that's exactly what's driving Elanco. We have been focused heavily on a pipeline a few years ago with blockbusters in it. We brought it through approval. We're now well into the launches, and I shared today, 5 major products with blockbuster potential. That's more than $100 million of potential in our business, but all of them are in big spaces. So let's just go down through a few of them that you could relate to, and hopefully we can get your pets on them if they're not. The first one's Credelio Quattro. A $6 billion market is parasiticides. That's the flea, tick, heartworm. This is the first product the FDA has ever approved with 4 active ingredients. We give the broad coverage. We give the speed to tick kill that other products don't have, 1-month heartworm control. And what we're seeing is we've captured 14% share in just a few months into the marketplace. And it's a real opportunity. The market itself, this broad spectrum pill, is growing at 40%. And we're bringing what we believe best medicine into that. The second is, the number one reason people go to the vet is an itching dog. The dog can self-diagnose here for the pet owner. And we've got a portfolio coming, the first one into the market, and then we're globalizing it. We're launching Zenrelia in Europe. We think we've got a high efficacy product. We've now got over 50% of users that are using the product saying we're moving it to first line. That's a big deal for us. And sales more than doubled in the U.S. from Q1 to Q2. And then, I move over to the cattle business. We've got a couple products here that are actually helping with productivity on low cattle numbers that are out there. That's why beef prices are a little higher, but also having an environmental impact. And CPG companies are signing up to say, hey, this is important to the next generation of protein consumers.
All right, I have to ask, just because one of our producers is asking, and she's got a dog and a dog lover. She says, are these allergy meds for itchy dogs or a skin thing? Can you help us out there?
Yeah, so, atopic dermatitis, we're right in the heart of the biggest season, kind of July, August, September. This comes from, just not the same as the human side, but it's what we're doing here is we're actually with the products we're bringing is we're treating that problem. We're bringing that itch down and putting that dog back into a comfort zone where it's not itching. I have two Labradors, and I've had a Labrador that's been on many different medicines, and this product Zenrelia is actually working very well for those trouble cases, but it's primarily for atopic dermatitis.
All right. Well, Elizabeth and Pearl, thank you for that. All right, a little bit of advice.
Jeff, Norah here, also a dog lover. My family, we're proud toy poodle owners here, but curious how you all are navigating the tariff environment right now, especially as it relates to the pharmaceutical space.
Yeah, so first of all, we have been very clear in the last quarter and this quarter that we have, put our interventions in place. We've done everything from, we've got the manufacturing, we believe, in the right place, and we've really mitigated, quantified, and actually quantified today $10 to $14 million. We've covered that in our guidance and really tested that against any risk scenario at all on tariffs. As you go to the bigger kind of maybe 232 and some of the discussions that are happening in pharma, we as an industry, all of us have been there, animal health, inside of Washington. We're being heard with a constructive dialogue to say, hey, we're really out of scope. Why? We're not a payer business. We're a cash business, which creates a very competitively priced global environment, which takes us out of scope. But ultimately, this comes back to what I just talked about. This is about, we are about food, security, food affordability. We're about the American farmer, and that's what animal health does for veterinarians and pet owners. So at this point in time, we believe we're in a good, constructive dialogue, that we're being heard, and we will, we have a plan to be out of scope relative to pharma because our industry is so different.
Well, it is a different industry, and I love that you went there. What is it that maybe Bloomberg investors, Bloomberg audience doesn't understand maybe about your supply chain? Where is your supply chain?
Yeah, the big companies are American-based in our industry. That's one. Mm-hmm. And we primarily got manufacturing between Europe and the U.S. We have very small percent, I think, as an industry, 2 to 3% coming out of China with active ingredients. So that's one. But I think where the discussion goes is economics and pricing, mm-hmm. Which gets you into this situation. And again, when we don't have as much patent protection, we have a lower margin industries and customers, and it just creates a global competitive price base, especially when you don't have payer, you really don't have an insurance base in pets or farmers.
So, Jeff, does this mean you don't want to get caught up in the bigger, broader talk about the cost of pharmaceuticals?
That's absolutely right, because we're more probably food-based and farmer-based type products, and that's why we've got tremendous broad-based support from the veterinarian community, the farmer, the food community, because that's what we are. I mean, we're direct to consumers. We're supplying products that impact their homes, whether that's protein or whether that's their pets. And again, the cash market versus a payer market is a big deal. So the message is, yes, we are outside of that scope. Mm-hmm. Another reason that brings the resiliency. I mean, this pet and protein trend mm-hmm. is creating a resiliency that I think for your viewers is why this is such an attractive industry, and our last 30 years prove it. And I think Elanco, where we are relative to value, is a great company inside of that industry.
So what about the White House wanting new drugs to be launched at prices equal to the ones in Europe or elsewhere? Where do you all view on? What's your view on that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say back to the out of scope is, we're a regulated industry. We bring products through, but we go right into the marketplace where we're not looking to get on a formulary or there's no insurance. I mean, this is where we have to go right out on day one, like I'm doing with these new products, and I need to prove a value proposition to you, the pet owner, as well as to the veterinary practice, or I'm going to farmers and need to say, the only way something works with farmers is it's got to be competitive. So I don't bring an innovation to the market if it doesn't add value immediately, and then I've got to be competitive, whether it's an American farmer versus a Brazil farmer. I mean, that matters too. So to me, it's a very different marketplace, which causes the reason why, we believe strongly we're out of scope of those tariff situations.
Hey, before we wrap, one thing I'm curious about, Jeff, because I love talking with anybody in the drug-related space, but I'm always curious about what drives innovation. What drives innovation when it comes to pet pharmaceuticals, be it for farm animals, be it for my dogs or Norah's puppies? What drives it? Is it cost? Is it efficiency? Like, what is it?
Yeah, first of all, there has to be a need. Back to the marketplace. Okay. We have to add value. There's a lot of products that have been designed, a lot of good ideas, I say, that never really become innovation because they don't hit value. I have to, I'm going to use Credelio Quattro. This product, brings 3 to 4 points of differentiation right out of the gate that I can come to you. Hey, I can give you the broadest coverage. Mm-hmm. I can give you quick, tick kill right away. These things matter to a farmer. Hey, I need to start talking dollars and cents right away to the farmer. It's the only way an innovation works. So we do that, 7-8 years in advance as we move this thing through the pipeline, saying, hey, how will this be different? We don't bring a product in Elanco to the market if it isn't best in class or it's first in class and it's got differentiated value. And we have to price it that way right out of the gate as well, which I think substantiates my point. And back to, again, the significance of what I think is a really attractive industry right now with maybe some of the volatility out there, to your questions, animal health. And again, our history's shown it. Our last 8 quarters have shown it. We've raised our guidance, and we look forward to not just 2025, but the rest of the decade. Yeah. Elanco's set up really well.
I will do anything for my Scout and my other dog, Yak.
I'm
just going to say, do you have a dog? Most important question. Final question.
Absolutely. 2 Labradors. I think I've been through about 4 generations of Labradors.
Classic.
And, like the waters. Absolutely. Lily and Lakin.
Lily and Lakin. Love that. Hey, Jeff, thanks for carving out some time for us. Jeff Simmons, he's the president and CEO of Elanco Animal Health, joining us on this Thursday. That stock, by the way, up 16% in today's session. So talk about some outperformance.